Alright, what's up? So, I'm gonna do some Tiny Comics. Tiny Comic time. A lot of people have been asking about the notebook I've been using, or sketchbook or whatever, to draw these little comics in. And this is it. It's called Comic Notebook. 64 pages of never before seen action and adventure. Some pretty choice drawings on the front there. Pretty great. Unemployed Philosophers Guild. You can see that website. Because a lot of people ask me, like, where did you get this thing? What is it? And this is what it is. A coworker gave it to me as a gift. Very nice gift. If you're watching this, you know who you are. Thank you. This is the actual size of the thing. It's pretty cool, actually. Been doing these little teeny comics in here, and they're super fun. I don't know why it's so much fun drawing tiny comics, but I've been really enjoying it. You can check them all out on my Twitter and my Instagram and whatnot. I've been posting them there. And before you ask, I'm skipping pages because the paper is kind of thin, so I'm kind of trying to leave a blank page between all these in case I try to scan them later. I don't get like the images showing through the backside. But yeah, pretty fun. So I'm going to draw on this today. The focus is probably going to be going in and out. You probably noticed it already because I've got the camera a lot closer than I normally do because this is a smaller thing. So I've been numbering these. There also might be a weird glare. I kind of had a hard time getting my lighting settled for this one. So it's been kind of weird, but hopefully you can see well enough. And hey, Alvin, that's free advertising. I use their cutting board thing every day. So, cool company. If you need a cutting board, check out this right here, Alvin. Hit me up, man. Yeah, so let's draw some tiny comic books. So on the last page, you see that Cull has her super cool cat-eared helmet thing in some sort of weird closet with a jacket, and she's putting all that stuff on. This comic has been like a visual exercise for me. If you've been following it, there's like no words or anything, and I think it's been fun to kind of like just draw comics without worrying about the story or kind of like making the story through just the drawings. It's fun, and I've been having a lot of fun with it, so I'm gonna keep doing that. And it's all pretty much improvised. Like I don't have like a really big plan for this drawing or this comic rather. Sorry. Other than to just draw some fun pictures and kind of just practice a bit and see how drawing a comic in pencil is gonna work for me and working with this character and stuff like that. So just been kind of a little bit of fun. But I've been having a lot of fun with it, so would be something that's worth doing. And you don't have to get this like little comic notebook or whatever. Like you can, just make miniature panels and do it that way. That's probably how I'll continue this if I continue doing this as an exercise. I don't know if I'll like track down another one of these notebooks. The notebook is fun, but not necessary, if you know what I mean. Not that I didn't love the gift coworker who is probably not watching this, but knows who they are if they are watching this. Just to cover my ass. But yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna erase that bit because I effed it up. And that's what erasers are for. I've always kind of spoken out against the raising, but there's a time and a place, man. Especially in a tiny comic notebook when you're already like 6 pages in. It's a great place to erase if you really need to. And what good are rules if you can't break them once in a while? Just fun little drawings. This has been a great like warm up too, because like I already know that I want to work on it. I've already got some cool ideas in there. There's like no pressure really. At least not for me anyway. There's pretty fun to draw tiny comics. I mentioned in one of my videos that will probably come out before this one, probably, that I wanted to talk about doing like a just visual only comic book for the sole purpose of practicing while doing other stuff. And I think it's a really cool idea. I was kind of thinking about it today that, let's see, what am I going to do in this panel? Let me think about it first. I know I make it up as I go, but I do usually take a second to think about it. So she's putting on the helmet. You could see her with the helmet on. That would be cool, because this helmet is kind of like an enigmatic thing. It has like a heads-up display that gives her all sorts of information, but it does a lot of other stuff too. No real information going to be given about this story yet. And I don't want to. I want it to kind of be a mystery, you know. Like there's definitely hints here, and there's going to be more as this goes on, but I want it to be kind of mysterious. A lot of people ask, like, what's the deal with this character? And I'm not going to tell you, man. That ruins all the fun. It ruins all the fun. I love hinting towards stuff. I like the storytelling aspect of games like Dark Souls, where the story's all there, it's just broken up into teeny tiny clues hidden all over the place. I think there's something really cool to that. Really fun as a reader or as an audience, kind of discovering the story rather than it just being laid out bare for you. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. But I was talking in that other video about, I wonder if you could hear that rattling. That's my cat playing with its toy. Random interjection. Anyway, so I was talking in the last video about using this small comics notebook to kind of satisfy my comic drawing needs while I write and plan out stories, because one thing I hate about drawing comics, or making comics rather, is that you have to write them all out and plan them out, especially if you're planning on doing a longer run, you know, like a graphic novel or something, or a web comic that's going to go on for a long time. You got to plan out at least some of it, like major story points and stuff. Even though, you know, I primarily improvise when I'm drawing and stuff like that, I do like to plan stories out. I like to, major points anyway, and usually it's just in the form of like shorthand notes, which I will eventually show off, because a lot of people are very excited about the idea of me making a video about making comics and kind of making a comic as I make a video about making comics. Could be kind of fun, and I think it will be fun. I think I'm going to do it. And so I'm kind of planning out a comic related to this character to do for that. So when you're writing and planning comics, you know, you're not drawing comics, you're writing. And I don't particularly like writing, but there's a point where it kind of has to be done a little bit. So I've been using this little comics notebook as kind of an excuse to just draw some comics, because I love drawing comics. And it kind of gets it out of my system while still practicing creating visual ideas in a comic book format, which I think is really important, because it's a totally different game, just drawing visuals, especially when your panels are predetermined. You kind of have to fit your ideas into these boxes, which is kind of a challenge, but at the same time a good exercise, because when you draw the comic yourself, you can be able to make the panels whatever you want, which is more empowering than having to fit your idea into a space that you didn't decide upon. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. But it's been fun for me, because I've got these two big panels to showcase the like whoosh, like putting the helmet on, like it's like clicking in, and then the heads-up display is going to start popping up. You know, like Iron Man shit popping up in the heads-up display. This is a super advanced helmet. You know, just improvising this heads-up display. What would it say when you boot it up? Like, welcome. Like across the screen. Like, activate. We'll just put like the end of the word here. Like power cells or something. Wi-Fi connection. over here. Got full bars. Super expensive high-tech helmet. Better have good service. Power cells are fully charged as indicated by a vertical line for whatever reason. Maybe it's like, I don't know, like an altimeter dial or something like that. Just thinking about like what plane cockpits look like and stuff, and what user interfaces and social media looks like. You know, because if you're in super advanced helmet, like what does the user interface of a super advanced helmet look like? It's watching your vital signs and monitoring your heart rate, calculating your luck stat. I don't know. All this popping into existence in front of her closet. She puts his helmet on. There's a closet in the background here. The cat is playing. So, sorry for any like weird noises and stuff. You hear like scrabbling around. It's the sound of cat claws on a hardwood floor. Sorry, I was out all day. Voice is a little gravelly. Voice is a little graveler. A little rock man in my throat. Sounds weird. Yeah, I hear you, bud. I know. It's late and he's bored, so he's knocking stuff around. It's cool. I get it. I won't talk too much about my cat, so I don't seem like too psycho, but I was really surprised today because I came home and my cat was just meowing like crazy. I had no idea what he wanted. And he hadn't done this before. He's a younger cat. He's just still kind of like learning stuff. But he walks over to his water bowl, and it's like a ceramic bowl. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. It's like a ceramic bowl, and he puts his paw in the ceramic bowl and starts sliding it over to me. And like, like, okay, I get it. You want water, but he'd never done that before. Like, it was the first time. He's like, all right, man. Like, you've been home for like 5 minutes and you haven't given me water yet. It's time. And it's like, okay. Like, I got the picture, but like I realized that in that moment, he had control over me. Smart cat, smart cat. Anyway, I'm rambling, talking about cats like a crazy person. It's cool. It's cool. Let's bring it back into drawing. You know, drawing this person with a cat helmet. Just as soon as I thought I could stop talking about cats. But we'll do like just an image of her face here with like the heads-up display popping up over it. I did a sketch once of like that kind of, or it wasn't a sketch. It was like a out of context comic page. That's what I was, you know, kind of the beginning of this exercise. That's why I wanted to bring it full circle. I've been drawing out of context comic pages for a while, and it's just a really fun exercise. And I never really thought of it, you know, for this kind of purpose. It's kind of like, well, practicing drawing visual comics while writing them, so you don't fall out of practice, or that at least you can satisfy the part of you, if you are like me, that needs to draw comics rather than write them, because writing stuff is boring. And so that I kind of like was thinking about it today and put two and two together. I think it'd be like, if I ever had an idea about making comics, like what my method was, that would be it. Because the visual part of comics are the most important part for me, and the most gratifying part for me at the same time. So kind of like overstimulated coming into this heads-up display. But then it kind of all swirls around and evens out, and she can kind of selectively display things. But this is basically like a montage of her heads-up display type thing. It's fun. It's fun to draw. It's like, you know, drawing different stuff, cool ideas. I always like to think of drawing comics as kind of like animation with only so many frames. Like if each scene, each panel was like a GIF or GIF, or I don't care what you say, whatever. I'm not gonna get into it right now. GIF is what I say. But each panel is a GIF, you know, in like an animated sequence. That's kind of how I like to think about it. Like this scene is just like if the GIF is looping, it's just the helmet coming down, like, and maybe like looking to the side or something, and then this one's like settling the helmet on the head while things are like whirring and clicking and turning on, and in this scene all the man, that cat keeps interrupting me. But anyway, this one, like all the heads up displays are kind of flickering on and pushing, flowing through, and these ones are kind of spinning and moving out of the way as she concentrates. And then this one, they're like pushed out of the side, and she has clear view, and she's like, like, cool look on her face. Like, oh, I'm cool, like I got this helmet on. Or maybe she's just kind of like nonchalant, like this is normal for her. Yeah, that's more like she doesn't have to be like a freaking like superhero, like posing in cool ways every time they fucking eat a burrito. You ever say something and you're just like, yeah, put that shit on my tombstone, like that's what I want to be remembered for. I had one of those moments just now. Yeah, so she's got the helmet on, heads up display is coming on, got all this cool info, and then I don't know, like she's got to have some sort of like secret entrance in her house, her residence. It's got to be like secret, right? Because I don't know, man, there's like secret stuff going on. I'm not gonna just lay it out there, but she can't exactly just walk out the front door in this crazy cat helmet for reasons. It's for me to know and for you to find out. So, yeah. I think we'll find out maybe in the next video. Or maybe I'll finish this page and put it on Instagram to give you some incentive to check out my social media. That would be totally... Not before my cat just, you know, runs through and causes a ruckus. So I'll have to introduce my, yep, I hear you, my cat on camera to, man, I don't, okay, yeah, anyway, getting sidetracked by my cat. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. It's been fun drawing Tiny Comics. Gonna draw some more Tiny Comics. I'll show you at some point, and we'll talk about it some more. Sound good? Okay. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.